Good afternoon, you lovely lot. So, another episode, another fun episode of rotary stuff. Obviously, last episode we pulled out the rotary engine to start stripping it down. Found where the leak was, I'm pretty sure of, which is the corner seal. They all did feel a little bit slimy, and then obviously the leaks for the sump, which was that shit Vaseline. But yeah, anyway, I'm just doing prep work. The irons, I'll actually go over them in a sec, but at the moment I'm doing housings. Yeah, I think I'll just get straight into it actually. So one housing here. What I've always seen actually a lot on forums is a round bar, a nice round bar, rolling pin or something like that. I would have used a rolling pin, but then I got soaked in WD. Someone would have been pissed off. So I found a nice bar, just take one end round, I hold it round tight. And then all I've been doing is stood here like this, and then I'll go, I'll show you, I'll demonstrate what I mean. But I go like holding it square, and then going like that for a bit, then that. So you're going a crisscross, which you might actually be able to see. Yeah, crisscross, there you go. Cleaning up the housing. So I thought, you know what, I'll do this, I'll give it a try. While the engine's out, and I'm not in a rush now, because the next show this is going to be going to is Simply Jap, which is quite a while away, but I would like it running for that. So I'll give it a try and clean up the housings. It's actually removed a lot of the chatter marks. It's still a little bit there, tiny bit there, but it's cleaned it all up quite nicely now. There is a funny little bit here, which you can see. There we go. There as well. I think the engine's ingested a little bit of aluminium, like odd little bits of aluminium, and has pressed it into the chrome. Because I try and hook it out, and nothing hooks out of it. I did have one or two that did hook out little tiny chunks of aluminium. They're now gone, so I think it's just like pressed it in and polished it. I'm going to be running excessive amounts of two-stroke oil anyway, so is what it is. But otherwise, the housing's coming up quite nicely. Now, the other thing with the housing is, even though they've been shrunk, the intake port's been shrunken with liquid nitrogen, I don't want to be pulling this engine out again. So I'm just going to go balls to the wall. The exhaust port I don't need to do because that's been welded, but the intake port's only pressed in with liquid nitrogen, very heavy press fit. I've worked out and found some very high temp silicon sealant, so I'm just going to fill the bottom half up with silicon sealant, very high temp stuff, so it's got some way to move and vibrate and whatnot. And then, on top of that, because we don't have Devcon in the UK, it's hard to come by, I end up good old JB Weld. Again, 232 degrees C, lots of pressure. I'll just mix a load of that up and then drop it in there on top of the silicon sealant, obviously below the surface. So I've got 2 tubes of that. I'll do both the housings on the exhaust port, the intake port, sorry. And then I've got blue Haydn on the way for the O-rings. I've ordered O-ring cord again because the outside worked perfectly fine. The inside on the front worked fine. The rear didn't though. I've gone, instead of 2.4, I've gone to 2.6 just to fill it out a little bit more because they have, where are they? As much as these did, if you'll be able to see that, they did squash down a bit. Kind of. They did squash down a bit. They do feel a bit slimy from the, they're slimy and horrible from the Vaseline. They did squash down a bit, but they didn't quite fill it out. So I've gone 2.6 instead to squash down and fill it out a little bit more. The next thing that I'm going to help with sealing them up is, obviously I've done what Mazda recommended for the housing, for the tension bolts, and that was 23 to 29 foot-pound. I had a look, and a few people say on old engines, stuff like that, they go to something like a 32 to 35 foot-pounds. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go to about 35 foot-pound of torque on all the tension bars, just to make sure all of these are squashed down and clamped properly. Go for that. The final part was the irons, or the 2 end plates with the score ring, which I've actually managed to clean up quite nicely now. I've just used a big stone and just stoned it and lapped it, both ends. There's no, you can feel it, but it's not positive and it's not badly rough. So all these tiny little score marks will hold oil in for the oil control rings. Yes, it might get a little bit blow by, and it might burn a bit, but to be honest, I don't care. It's a rotary. Who buys a rotary not to burn oil? They're going to burn oil, simple as that. So they're still usable. I'm happy with that, because trying to get hold of these are not easy. And then it means I've got to then drill and tap that, got to paint it all nice, or whatever fiddly other bits as well to do. So I'm really using them. They're good. I'm going to blast the hell out of these with brake cleaner when it comes to assembling. Same with the housings, which I'll hopefully do next week. What else? Otherwise, and again, the rotors are all in good condition. I'm just going to brake clean, blast the hell out of these with brake cleaner and just make sure they're fully clean as well. All the apex seals, side seals, all of that's still good. And really, they didn't break in. So I'm not too fussed about keeping them where they need to go, considering the irons have now been stoned and the housings are being wet and dried. It actually gives the apex seals and side seals a little bit something to break into and bed in. So I'm just literally cracking on with this, getting this done. Otherwise, tomorrow, what I'll be doing on the car, I might actually finally be fitting up the brake kit. Big brake kit. I've got a big brake kit to fit, actually. I did make it myself. It's Subaru 4-pot calipers, and I can't remember what make or brand and size of discs you need, but they're pretty big. Yeah, extra lot knuckles, because I really want to get these fitted. Now, I brought these off of shit, can't remember his name now. Fuck. Haydn. I think it's Haydn. So if you're in the UK, you're based in the UK, and you want extra lot knuckles, go on Instagram, find this matey, message him, chuck him a message, whatever. And yeah, I can't remember what I paid for them. It wasn't much, but they're bloody good. They're all powder coat and everything. Very nice done, everything. I don't think they came with the... I don't think it came with the fresh bearings and the hub. Might have done though. I can't remember, or I ordered them. One of the two. But yeah, they're literally ready to go on. So it's going to be fun trying to undo them and get them on. Yeah, message Hayden and inquire about them, because superb, absolutely superb. I've heard good things about them as well. But as for the car, other than doing the extra lock knuckles, hopefully jet blast the whole car, give it a bloody good clean, and even clean out this engine bay. So hoover it all out. Oh, my 12 mils there. Hoover out, jet blast it, whatever, but get this engine bay nice and clean for when the engine does go back in. Yeah. So I think I'm probably gonna crack on with the housings, get them both done and ready, and I'll get back to you then. So I don't know if that's going to be today or tomorrow, but we should, well, today or tomorrow for me, that is, not for you. So I'll see you then.
A few moments later.
Oh, good morning. Sorry, back again. I'm going to start sanding this housing down like I did yesterday, which I'll get into detail of that in a sec. I've got blue Horn motors arrived. Oh, it is high temp RTV. So I'll show you actually what I'm going to do in a sec. And I've also got my JB Weld. I've got bigger coolant rings now. So I've got 2.6 mil, and I'm going to make them up in a sec. There's lots of prep work today and get the engine assembled. So it's going to be a bit more of a talky video, I think. I might try and set the phone up and give the car a blast, a jet blast off once things are starting to set and whatnot. We'll see how far we go today, I think. So yeah, housing wise, obviously this one yet to be cleaned and whatnot, but I'm blasting that out with brake cleaner, and I'm going to fill up majority of this with red RTV. Then I'm going to just finish the top off with JB Weld. I'll do that both sides, just to make sure these aren't leaking, because I don't really want to be pulling the engine out again. And it ensures that if the coolant seals aren't leaking, then this definitely, well, you know what I mean. But yeah, one housing is completely clean and done, so I'm going to do that one, then this one. While that one's setting on one side, I'm going to do this one. Yeah, I've cleaned up all the silicone seam from these edges. Luckily, being is still uncured, it's actually quite easy to remove. Surface is a little bit brown, but I'll try a little bit better later. But anyway, resurfacing the chrome. So I've seen people reference this, but not taught to or how to much. All I'm using, metal pole, a rolling pin, something a bit bigger would be better, but this is the only thing I've got at hand. And then all I'm doing is cross hatching, so that way, that way, that way. So I'm doing a few strokes that way, and then a few strokes that way, just moving myself way along and around. The other housing is done because it's now curing with the RTV on one side. But I'll do this one. I'll try and do it one-handed. I don't think it's going to work one-handed. But yeah, as I demonstrated earlier, I'm pretty sure I did. It is that way, then that way a few, then that way a few, and then just keep going all the way around. I'm going to replace this wet and dry because that's fairly used. I'm using 800, people say 1000, but 800 seems to work nicely. 2.6, they're all made up now, they're ready to go. And then I've got another, I could have reused the corner ones, but the outer ones, didn't really want to. And I thought for the cost of what, a tenner for 5 meters of Viton cord. That's 2 mil done, so I've got a fresh set of them ready to go. I've got blue Haydn. Actually, I'll chuck them over there, the rotors. I will go over the rotors probably Monday, ready for Tuesday when I actually assemble the engine. Or Wednesday, one of those days. Probably Wednesday, actually, because it's going to take some time. Anyway, housings. So the housings I've cleaned. I've then wet and dried the chrome, hatched it, cross-hatched it. A lot smoother now. A lot of the chatter marks are gone. There's a few little ones left. Most of the chatter marks gone. Nice and smooth. Something that the apex seals a bed in. For the peripheral ports, just as a safekeeping, I thought, you know what, I'll slap some just down in the edges. It's not filled, so coolant still can flow around, just around the edges of the exhaust port, but then also filled the intake port side. Then I'll leave that as set for the day, and then tomorrow I'll fill that with JB Weld. I've got some high temp JB Weld, 232 degrees. Chemical metal, that'll do. Funny enough, the silicone sealant I've used is actually a high temp, but that should be all right. So I'm going to leave that to set. Both sides done, just to be on the safe side. And I'll fill them with JB Weld afterwards. But yeah, I've got to leave them to set now, so I'm going to then crack on and start washing the car. But they're nice and clean and ready to go. Check blaster off. These are doing gardening. Gonna just literally give the whole car blast off, I think, to be honest. And now I'm gonna have fun unclipping that, clipping it on there while that's pressurised. So shit. Loose. Come hold phone. Stand here and film me get soaking wet. Cool. This is not going to do well. Shit. That worked. And you might say, oh, why not just turn it off? It's one of these extendy, springy ones. It wouldn't fit here otherwise. Oh well, done now.
You plugged it in?
Yeah, it's plugged in, I just need to turn it on. Everything's soaking wet. Fucking lazy. I hate jet blasters for this reason. How? Fuck it.
Oh, Jesus.
Shit. Put that back in there then. Not in there. Shit. Okay. Won't undo that then. Fuck it. Oh God, what am I doing here? Who let this absolute specialton do this?
No comment.
Yeah, gathered that. Cool. That's all sorted. Mint. On. The satisfaction of a wheel. God, come on, focus. Let's see if we can get the... Oh, you're going to focus on the flake in the paint? No? Oh, there's that flake. Oh, come on. Where's the flake? It is. Ah! So a great success. Oops. Having hand from the girlfriend. But now, actually looking somewhat cleaner. And if I get, I don't know, a good, well, I might be able to see, because there's a flake in the paint. This is why I like this car, that flake. Now, get this thing running, get this back out, give it a proper wash at some point, a proper going over, and then probably even start buffing it and polishing, cleaning it up, other than this quarter here, which I still need to do something about. So I'm yet to decide what I'm going to do on this quarter though. We'll see. But I thought I'll give it a blast, considering I haven't got much on to do today, and I've now got to leave the housings to set. Yeah, I thought I'd give it a blast, considering I've got to. Oh, there's that flake there. I can see it. Irons are done. They're ready to go. The housings are just curing, so I can't do anything with them until they're cured and done. And the rotors I can't really do much with either until they're ready, or until the housings are ready. So. It'll probably be Tuesday. Monday, put the JB weld in once it's set, leave that set for a whole day or two, actually 2 days probably, and then it'll be clean everything, assemble, which hopefully I'll do Wednesday. So it's going to be a late one Wednesday, so I might do some clips of that, get the whole engine reassembled and ready to go in, and then this weekend the engine can go back in. When it does go back in, what I will do is... Oh, the back box isn't on there at the moment. But I'll cut the back box off. I'll put on the nicer one for now. Get it started, get it running, get it idling, get everything done and sorted. Then swap them back over. So, yeah, hopefully it's running. But it's just a bit of a small episode this weekend. This weekend, yes, small episode this weekend. Not doing much, but just odds and sods and bits and bobs. Yeah. But I think I've covered most things of what I'm going to do. So yeah, I think it's just going to be a small update video, I think. And yeah, 2 in the week. Well, not 2 in the week. Yes, a bit either in the week or next weekend. So we'll say. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like, whatever. Obviously Instagram's down below, Discord's down below as well. I stopped on the Discord a little bit, but I need to get it going again. So yeah, if you want to, just all kinds of card conversations, whatever else, update everything, Discord's there. And I have been toying with the little idea of a Patreon, partly for the fact of supporting the build, and anything or whatever goes straight back into the build and the YouTube channel and future projects, but also for more updates, more like Instagram story updates or Snapchat story updates. I don't know, those sort of little story update things. a project that I'm currently working on, which hopefully will happen soon. A few people already have them, or have, yeah, you could say have them. But Patreon people will get that first. What else Patreon wise? Loads of things. I've got to go through and think of a few things, but yeah, I'll be sorting something out with that. Whether they'll be this weekend or next weekend, I don't know. I was going to aim to more the what was it? I was going to aim to drop it more like almost to the 1,000 subscriber mark. Considering I'm now 844, which is amazing, and hugely appreciative that actually of everyone who subscribed and followed the build so far. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to cover a few more things in there, which I'll go over in a sec actually. But yeah. So Patreon's something I'm in the works. I'm working on. So we'll see how that goes. I'll see how I'll sort it out and everything. But that's all in due time. Anyway, what was I going to cover? I'll be back in a sec. So obviously I've got the Mark 1 radiator. Yes, it is a bit wet in here. I have jet blasted. The Mark 1 radiator. Now, my mate's given me a Mark 2 radiator. Now, from the looks on the Mark 2, they use the same two bolting holes there. So I'm going to grab the lower mounting points, because if so, you can actually use a Mark 2 radiator in a Mark 1. But yeah, he's given me a brand new Mishimoto Mark 2 radiator, which is absolutely amazing. Making a turbofan for this, and I was going to do a set of turbofans for the front. And not just a cover, but an actual turbofan with fins that actually functioned and worked. So at some point, I've got to take lots of measurements from the centre here, across this whole face and up to here, and I'll get printed a half of a 2D piece, which then should fit in there nicely. If that works, I can then design the rest of the face and then make up some bolting mounts. I might do that now. Actually, I might take some measurements now. Yeah, because I guess I can. Bit of masking tape across, mark all the segments, and then where I am and each height and stuff. So I might do that in a sec. I'll cover that or whatever. But yeah, when I actually go more in depth with that, I will cover it a bit more. But I'm going to be making a set of turbofans for this because I think rotary, it needs some turbofans up front. So I've got some CAD stuff we can. So a massive thank you to Jamie for that. And again, going over the knuckles. If you want those extra lot knuckles, which obviously I did not get time today to fit them, it is half free. I could. I'm not going to bother. I'll get around to fit them. But if you want them, hit Haydn up. I'm going to chuck his Instagram. Well, it's on screen, but I'm going to chuck it in the description. Give him a message if you're in the UK and you want some extra lot knuckles. I believe he is still making them. Not as much as he used to though, but he still is making them. And then the other person that I've been which has been giving me a helping hand, but also good conversations between, is ARCRotary. So a massive thank you to him. I'm gonna chuck his YouTube channel down in the description as well as his Instagram, because you should go check it out if you're into rotary stuff. He's certainly a person to talk to. He's Aussie, I think. Knows his stuff, certainly. He's, yeah, superb actually. So a big shout out to him. Anyway, I'm gonna finish it off. Thank you for watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe, and next time, see you later.